Hey YouTube, Shuken Shtobi here with a review of the Tokumei Sentai Gobusters BuddyZord LT-06 DX Tategami LiOh. So this is the big, huge-ass robot of the year for Gobusters, just like McAlkin last year, and Gosei Ultimate for Gosager, and Mogi Dio for Shinkenger. Every year we get a big, giant robot, and this is it. So he is a robot. Of course he's a robot. He's a motorcycle mixed with a lion. Very cool. So this is the buddy vehicle mode. He's a buddy because he's a Zord that's actually a BuddyZord as well. So he's a BuddyZord. So this is the buddy vehicle, not a Buster vehicle, in the motorcycle mode. Now, just as a comparison, here he is, and here's Ace. Yep, he is pretty big. So, Ace actually has some compatibility with this guy, which I think is kind of neat. But before we do that, there's actually a switch on Lio that activates some sounds. So we turn that on and give it a roll.
Tategami LiOh!
I swear to God, Bandai only has one motorcycle noise. But he says, Tategami LiOh, buddy vehicle, brew, or whatever. So that's fun. And that's about all he says. You get some motorcycle noise if you keep doing it. Laser cannon noises. Okay, enough of that. And now we stalled out. So I'll go ahead and turn that off because that's actually kind of obnoxious. So if we convert Ace into Gobuster Ace, he's got a little bit of compatibility with this guy, which is actually pretty awesome. So now that he's all set to go, bring out his little arms and his feet, he plops right on to the seat, just like that, knocking off the helmet, and that will connect right back here, just like that. And we're just gonna move the helmet piece. It tends to fall out a ton. So as you can see here, he's riding because that's what he does, and then this part falls off because pieces just love falling off. So he needs his little cheetah head that I took off earlier, so he needs to be complete. And he grips the handlebars okay. Not perfect. Obviously the hand that usually grips the sword grips it better than the hand that can't grip anything. But yeah, it's actually really cool. Obviously his head's kind of chopped off because it doesn't fit in the camera frame all that well. If I raise it, there you go. Pretty cool. No new added sounds or anything like that, but the effect is just really neat. Now, the fact that a robot that turns into a car needs a motorcycle to drive around in is pretty ridiculous, but it looks cool. You cannot deny that it looks cool. Now, to get him into the buddy animal mode, it's pretty easy. I am going to say that he can still ride him in the animal mode, but I won't bother demonstrating it because it looks fairly much the same. Alright, so it's a fairly simple process. First of all, you have to take this out of his mouth, set that aside, take off the headpiece as well as the wheels. This is going to be his mane, so you have to flare this open. Then obviously the head will connect right there. And we will reconnect that in un momento. Take the back segment here, flip these around. This part back here, the instructions have it going like this. I think that looks kind of strange, so I actually revert it. But those are going to peg right into these slots. Right back here to form the tail. As you can see, I like it better with a tail that sticks out lower than one that's kind of just up in the air for no reason. Bring out these legs. Those have very small legs. And take the head and voila to the la. Flip that on real quick just so we can hear the sounds. And that does hold down a peg so it knows that it's in animal mode and not the buddy vehicle mode.
Tategami LiOh! Buddy animal. Karoo!
Yay!
Tategami LiOh! Buddy animal. Karoo!
Keep spinning it to keep roaring. That's about what it does here. So like I said, Ace can still ride him because that's just what he does. But other than that, it does nothing extra. It still looks really cool. It looks a little bit too thin and a lot like the cheetah to look like a lion per se. But it gives off the effect that's needed. I just don't like the aesthetics of the animal mode. It just... the legs are thin, they're too close together. The line just looks weird, I don't know. Something's just really off about it, I think. But, of course, he has more modes, because that's what we need in life, is more modes. So, to get into the actual Tategami LiOh, what we're going to do is take off this piece back here. These are going to be the legs, obviously. These will split up. Bam, legs. So obviously we're going to need a lot of work. Alright, so these fold down. This will pop up. Fold up and around. And that will just place right there. Fold down. Fold down. Down. This piece will go
System all green. Mission start. Go!
preview of the noises he makes. This will go right in here, which is actually kind of difficult to do. Just like that. And then this piece, just like in all the other modes, is supposed to sit right back here. So there is Tategami LiOh in his robot mode. Not that bad of a robot, actually. I like it more than Ace. And I like it more than Gobuster Beat 2. I think it's the best of the three individual robots. Looks most coherent. It does got a little bit of a a thigh issue with those wheels. But other than that, I think it looks actually pretty cool. It's got a shield over here with the lion face. It's time for Buster. System all green, yada yada. Go! There's actually no mission here. There's no game or anything. And he's got his little lance, bow weapon over here. So pretty cool. I really dig the way that he looks in this mode. And this is actually my favorite of the modes that he can possibly do, including the upcoming 2. I just love the coherency of it, and it's just a pretty cool robot. I think one of the cooler ones to come out in recent times. So really do dig it. Of course, he's got even more modes. This guy can combine with Gorilla and Rabbit to form Gobuster Lio. And then, or it's technically like Leo, but the way the Japanese pronounce it, it ends up being Lio. But that and with Beat and Stag to form Gobuster King. So we're going to go and take a look at those. So let's go ahead and start the transformation into Gobuster Lio. And here we have Gobuster Lio. Yeah. It's kind of neat if you can actually see the head, which you can't. But it's actually pretty neat. I like it better than Gobuster O just because the Lio pieces actually make it look a lot more coherent. Particularly down here. Of course, the legs look very, very shrimpy compared to how they used to look, but at least it looks like a more coherent leg than with the pieces of Ace sticking out of it. So in this mode, you do still have the ears here making whatever this is. You do have the addition of the helmet on here because they don't want to not use a piece. And then Ace's sword is used in this combination. You can still use Tategami's lance, but I guess the sword's the official mascot of this form. And of course, this does still spin.
Time for Buster! System all green.
So it's the same things as it does in Lio mode. There is no additional sounds for Gobuster Lio or Gobuster King. But still pretty cool overall. I like the way it looks. From the side, it is kind of a mess. Kind of. From the back here, you've got this butt plate over here that a gorilla makes, and then whatever you want to call this. So, if you don't mind that, obviously, then I guess it's okay, but from the front, it looks great. From the side, it looks and from the back, it looks like a mess. That's basically how this thing goes. But overall, I like the look of this thing, but the next step is what's very impressive. And here is the monstrosity known as Gobuster King. Yep, this is where we're at in our lives. This. It's an interesting formation. I think that is ruined by horrible proportions, basically. The way that everything connects is fairly similar to the way that Great Gobuster connects. However, you have Tategami in the middle instead of Ace. Now, because of that, I do think it's a nicer looking combination because I think Tategami brings a lot to the table that works in proportions. However, it ruins it at the same time. The Stag make horrible arms for this thing. The arms go just a little bit higher than how natural arms should, but given how bulky this thing is, the arms just look incredibly stubby to me. It just doesn't particularly work. I don't think this is not enough arm here. Same thing with the legs. The connection looks absolutely great. There's nothing sticking out, and I think that's amazing, but the legs just look way too small to actually look like it could hold this hulking mass of a thing that I assume just rolls kind of like Great Gobuster does, because there's no way this thing can walk. Just like Gobuster Lio, this thing looks horrible from the side. Not only do you have a giant lion face sticking out of his gut like some sort of weird tumor, you've got everything going on back here. The back is basically the backpack of where do we put these things? Yep, we'll put them here. So you've got the entire chest piece of Great Gobuster hanging out back here, along with the rabbit, and then of course the beat piece up here with Gorosaki barfing on the beat with the rabbit arms sticking out just like Great Gobuster, except higher up and strange. You've got Great Gobuster's helmet hanging out back here, wedged in between things, and yeah, that's really about all I can say for this thing. I like it, sort of. I just think it fails at multiple things. If you do decide to display it like this, which I'm highly debating not, just given how awesome Ace on a bike looks, I recommend definitely facing it from the front. Do not angle this thing whatsoever, like you might with some other toys, because it will just ruin it. Directly from the front, just like this, in an absolutely vanilla setting, it looks okay. From the front, I actually think it looks really cool, and if you had a more stylized action figure of this, like in the Super Robot Chogokin line, or even the Mini Claw might actually pull off it better than actually this one does. From the front and the base and the design, I think it looks incredibly cool, but just in the actual proportions of things just are really off, and I think that they could have did a lot better job. Now this guy can hold two weapons. It can obviously hold the Great Gobuster spear thing, and the little stag gun blaster, whatever, stag buster. Sure, we'll go with that. So it can do that. It can't hold Tategami's lance, which I think is a shame. And there's nowhere really to connect it. If you're swift enough, you can actually connect it to the Buster right here to make it even more bustery. However, it just doesn't fit all that well, and it tends to fall off and be weird and stuff. So you got that going for you. That's really about it for this guy. If you like this mode, great. If you think it's horrible trash and looks stupid, I'm not gonna blame you. I'm on the side that actually does like it from the front, but I certainly can see where most people would not gel with this. This guy is just a beast, literally, since it's a lion, but anyway. Alright, so here's the deal. If you really like Gobusters like I do, then no matter if it's retail price, Ami discount, CS Toys sale, HLJ sale, regardless, pick this guy up. Easily my favorite of the Buster Machine, Zord, whatever's released in this line. Not only is it great with the other guys and makes some pretty wicked awesome combos that I think are better than the ones with Ace, you can do this awesome menagerie thing, and even as a standalone toy, the trike mode is absolutely awesome. The animal mode isn't too bad, and then the Megazord mode looks terrific as well. So as a standalone toy, I can easily recommend this. Yeah, the price is kind of high, averaging about $125 at retail, but overall I think it's actually worth it. I think it's a better deal, honestly, than both Gosei Ultimate and Macalcan were at the time of their original release. You just get 3 awesome modes as a standalone, plus you get compatibility with Ace, you have compatibility with Gorilla and Rabbit, And then you have compatibility with Gorilla, Rabbit, Beat, and Stag. So really there isn't a way to go wrong with this thing. Yeah, the end combos aren't the greatest. They look kind of bulky. I wouldn't really say that they're cluster F territory, but the pieces just kind of go in really weird places in some versions of the combinations. Of course, it's always fun to try to mix and match some things, see if you can come up with some clever combinations of your own. Perhaps just kind of streamline him a bit and not put all that back kibble on him. That would be a start. So there's tons of things you can do with this guy. Easily recommended even at the retail price. If you can pick him up at a sale, I would say it's absolutely worth it. My favorite of the Gobusters mecha so far. Just a really awesome toy altogether between the 3 modes and the 2 combinations plus this. So be sure to check out ShukumenShinobi.com for all the latest updates in my reviews and hauls. And of course, check out RidersRangersandRavels.com, the podcast bringing the latest Toku news in the quickest way possible. And of course, you can buy this guy, Tategami LiOh, and more at CSToysJapan.com. So take care and have a great one. Bye.